Thank you for listening to the 26th Annual Miracle Marathon benefiting Children's Wisconsin. You know, sometimes the smallest patients leave the biggest marks on the hearts of their care team.
Indeed.
And Henry Ross left a lasting impression on everyone he met here at Children's. When the unthinkable happens, Children's Wisconsin provides support and services to help families find their way forward. And here to talk about Henry, Mom and Dad, Angela and Brandon. You guys live in Caledonia. Thanks for joining us this morning. I love your shirts.
I do,
Angela,
sure.
explain your shirts.
On Henry's, would have been his second birthday, which would have been this past November, we decided that we wanted to do something to give back to children's. So our first kind of fundraising endeavor was to create a shirt for Henry's birthday, November 23rd. And it was just past his 1-year angelversary on November 11th. And so we worked with WKP Apparel, shout out to them, for helping us create a Henry's Heart shirt and to raise awareness for hypoplastic left heart syndrome, which is what Henry was born with. And we marketed them to friends and family, and were able to raise some funds to give back to the West 3 Cardiac ICU here at Children's, and created Heart Warrior bags for our families on the unit. So we actually brought those here to Children's on what would have been Henry's Heartiversary, which was 2 years out from when he received his life-saving Norwood procedure, which was a 12-hour open heart surgery.
So take us back to 2021. You were pregnant and you went in for an ultrasound,
Correct.
and they diagnosed it at that time.
Correct, yeah. So it was our 20-week ultrasound.
Okay. And what was told to you at that time?
At that time, it was, we were in the ultrasound, and
Not much. Not much was.
Right, not much was said.
The
but
doctor came in at Aurora and said, I'm seeing something wrong with your son's heart. I would like you to go to Aurora Sinai to get a fetal echo. Dr. Cameron there then diagnosed Henry with hypoplastic left heart and suggested Children's was the place to go. So
Luckily, it's right in our
on August
backyard.
11th of 21, our journey began.
Okay, so August of 21 is when it began. And typically there's a protocol, right?
Correct.
That they follow when an infant has got this condition. Did they follow the same protocol with Henry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And Henry was he faced so many obstacles along the way.
He sure did.
Explain that.
Well, I mean, right from the get-go, he came out blue. So not breathing. They got him back rapidly. They intubated him, and he was good. He did well. They even actually got him off of the ventilator the next day for a little while, and then he needed a little more assistance because of his heart and his breathing. That was the first of many. He was born underweight, so they couldn't actually do the Norwood palliation right away. They had to do his artery banding, pulmonary artery banding, to let him grow and breathe more normally, because he was far too small for the surgery. That was two. That was the second major thing, and then we went through.
After we waited about 6 weeks for him to kind of grow, and we were already kind of halfway to more of a hybrid procedure. So our team here, led by Dr. should kind of finish that hybrid procedure and went into the cath lab, and that's really where the first obstacle came in. It was found that Henry had a very large clot in his leg, and
Up
so
into his abdomen.
right, that was very extensive. So that
They
excuse me,
stopped.
that was aborted, and it subsequently caused him to have a stroke. A little piece of that clot came off and went to his brain and caused a stroke. So there was a lot of healing and waiting and hoping that we could move forward after he recovered, which he did
He
fairly
did.
well.
You wouldn't even know.
You wouldn't even know.
You- So just a couple months later, you wouldn't even know that he had the first stroke. Yeah, it was amazing. OT and PT here, those girls are
Amazing things.
amazing.
How did it go so wrong? What happened that he lost his life?
Well, we got to a point where he was doing well. We were able to get him to a point to even bring him home for 2 months in the summer, which was amazing. The team here, we went through a myriad of things to get him to that point. And in the summer, the second stage of the care or the palliation that comes after that major open heart surgery is a second surgery called the Glen, which helps to reconstruct the heart even more.
But it changes the circuit.
It changes the
blood flow.
circulation, and unfortunately, we learned that the pressure in Henry's heart was just too high. So we had to look at transplantation. So we worked with the heart transplant team. We got everything lined up, and then when we brought Henry back in to essentially wait for a heart to get him on medication to bridge him to that transplant. The line that they put in and even tried to avoid that area where the clotting was, that's where things really went wrong. Unfortunately, even though the team really tried to take so much care in avoiding that area, a subsequent piece of that clot came off when they were putting the line in and caused basically a catastrophic stroke.
Hemorrhagic conversion. So he then needed brain surgery to relieve the pressure. So from brain surgery to now, because of the stroke, being taken off of the transplant list because he was not a candidate anymore. His goal was just to recover, and then maybe we can talk about potential transplant later on. But unfortunately, he improved greatly.
Dramatically.
You wouldn't. He was starting to become reminiscent of the Henry we knew prior to the second stroke. But things started to evolve in his brain, and the real key piece that no more could be done was he had mycotic aneurysm in his brain, in the stroked area, which is it's we were told by Freighter because
Basically,
they had
he
the
wouldn't have survived that.
he wouldn't have survived.
This is tough, but Angela, when you walk into children's, like when you walked in here today, what kind of emotions go through you? And the same to you as well. Right? What goes through your mind, and how do you feel sitting here today?
Melancholy.
Yeah. So many emotions. It's
I mean-
honestly more bittersweet, I think. for
I
me.
mean, happy as well. I love to talk about Henry, but happy to see such wonderful staff
Yeah.
that
They're
are
here supporting
They're
you.
here.
There's a
They're
whole
here.
audience here
Yeah, they're
supporting.
here
Um,
supporting you,
Mhm.
yeah.
It just, they truly were his family. As much as,
And become like our family.
yeah, as much as his actual family, they were his family. They took care of him as if he was their own. And
And because
there's can't really say much more about that. That
That says it
medical,
all.
yeah.
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 And because of, Dr. Michael Mitchell, who is Henry's cardiothoracic surgeon, to all the doctors, nurses, staff on the cardiac ICU here,
They gave us time.
they gave us time.
Yeah.
We had hoped for the best, we prayed for the best, but, we know that we can sleep at night knowing that the care that Henry received here, the compassion that we received as a family, we had the best of the best.
We were able-
working for Henry and for us.
We were able to make memories with our son that we otherwise probably wouldn't have. If he wouldn't have gone through what he did in such a little life, short life, we would have lost him within days. And we wouldn't have gotten him home. We wouldn't. There's a lot to be said about being able to make those memories that we do have.
Right. Children's provides the kind of care that, like, you can't fake it. Like, they're so sincere and genuine when it comes to caring for your child and caring for you.
Yeah.
That I think that's the thing, that's the overriding thing I think that most parents feel is that, wow, they really truly care.
Right down to grief counseling, even. They're no charge. We go to Seed and Cole, at no charge.
Yeah.
And even the day that Henry passed, Henry's primary care nurse, Karen, who wasn't even working that day, was called in, and she stayed with our nurse on that day, and the other coordinators, and they spent time with us, making memories and being with us, and just the time and care that, not just the medical intervention, but also like you said, the relationship part of it brings us back and makes us
Yeah.
want to continue to share Henry's story and to give back.
Well, when we
as
think
well.
about we talk about how many kids come through these doors on a daily basis or a yearly basis, the fact that they can make you feel like you're the only one that matters in that time speaks to this place.
Angela, what is the
100%.
necklace that you're wearing? What do you have there?
This is actually, it is a heart that has a lock of Henry's hair in there. So that was one thing that we did after he passed,
Okay.
with our child life specialist and
And Brandon.
nurses.
Brandon, you have one too, you have a necklace.
So it's Henry's fingerprint. And they turned it into a silver pendant. Angela has another one as well. Has his name on it and his little thumbprint.
Well, we really appreciate you guys sharing Henry's story.
Yeah.
We know it's difficult to talk about Henry, but it's the way that I think a lot of parents add more meaning to the life of the child they lost. Henry was almost a year, and the fact that we're talking about him now hopefully will inspire some people to donate money,
Yeah.
which at some point can make a legit difference in another child and
Yes.
another family's future.
And
that's,
these kids are tough.
Yeah.
the kids, we find the kids are the
And they
most
just
resilient.
smile through it.
Yeah.
Henry
Absolutely.
just would
He-
smile through it
He had
all, like
this just beaming smile.
that nurses would come in from just want to see
And
Henry smile.
It,
Right.
it,
you
it didn't
know.
matter what he was going through. There was one night he had 104 fever when we were trying to figure out what was actually going on in his brain, and it turned out it was the aneurysm that was causing the fever. And he has this just 104 fever, cool washcloth on his head, and he's just beaming smile of joy. Looking,
Yeah.
it
It feels
just,
Kids
love,
are
for
amazing,
sure.
and these
Yeah.
families are amazing, and this place is amazing.
You guys are amazing. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for sharing Henry's story. We
Thank
really
you for
appreciate
having
it.
us. We
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
These are the families that you're helping. Please, make a difference. Don't sit there and just listen to this. Make a difference. You are legitimately making a palpable difference, and your money stays right here in southeastern Wisconsin and helps our families, our kids, whether they're your coworkers, your family members, your neighbors, whoever it might be. Keep your money here in Wisconsin and donate it to children's, and especially now because it's a Bunzel's Power Hour and your money is being doubled. 414-337-WKLH, which is 9554. You can also donate online, and we have more Miracle Marathon coming up on 96.5 KLH.